Really, people need jobs, they need long-term plans, and right now they say they don't know that information. It is a scramble. One woman that we talked to said, you in Florida have more emergency services and more resources available in one single state in the United States than we do in all 90 islands in the Bahamas. So they are asking for help. The U.S. government is here. The people we spoke to say they really appreciate the American support. We're live in Port Canaveral this morning. Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
Vic, I think people get that. You know, we realize how fortunate and blessed we are here in this country. You know, I do want to ask you, because this is like just the beginning. I mean, they're going to need this help for weeks, for months, probably years. Do you get the idea that, you know, I know the cruise ships are doing what they can now. They can't sustain that forever. Like, what do the days and the months after this look like? Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't know what the future is. The Department of Defense, the U.S. Navy, they are coming over. They're setting up bases. We might see some FEMA operations here. The Bahamas has its own version of FEMA called NEMA. But really, you have a lot of people that are fleeing to the islands that fared better. We were in Nassau, the capital, and every day there are thousands of evacuees, hurricane victims that are coming our way. And it's hard because they're staying in shelters. They don't have bedding. They have food for now, but eventually they're going to have to sustain themselves. They don't have jobs. You got to find schools for these children. And you already have a very fragile economy. The Bahamas, low income, a lot of people living in poverty. Some people, even before the hurricane, did not have electricity and running water. And now this just exacerbates the situation.
Vic, one more question before we let you go. You know, I know the cruise ship you were on took on those refugees. Where do they go when they get here?
Yeah, and if you've been watching our coverage through the weekend, you saw that we spoke to some of those evacuees, Lauren. So 261 people were cleared by the Bahamian government to get on our cruise ship Saturday morning in Freeport. Now, Freeport, a lot of that is underwater. It's destroyed, but the port was good enough for us to bring this big Royal Caribbean ship in. They went from there, and it took about 6 hours for us to go from Freeport to Nassau. And then they got off in Nassau, and unfortunately, that's where a lot of the assistance stopped. They're relying on the government. Some people are lucky enough to have family members in Nassau that can take them into their houses and feed them and clothe them, but other people had nowhere to go. You saw them just kind of sitting on the curb with a bag of their clothes, maybe a little bit of food they were able to salvage, trying to find a shelter, trying to find what's next. These people don't have cell phones. They don't have any money left. They certainly don't have transportation, but they do have a lot of faith. People in the Bahamas have been through a lot, and it was amazing to see how strong they are and how resilient they can be.
All right, Beck, thank you so much. Yeah, that's